Benue Northeast Zonal Chairman of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Abraham Waroh, has said Governor Hyacinth Alia's administration has failed to address the security challenges bedeviling the state. He disclosed these on Monday during a chat with journalists in his office at the State Secretariat of the party in Makurdi. Waroh said the people voted for Alia because he promised to change the narratives of insecurity in the state. He said a dispassionate assessment of the current situations in the state had shown clearly the unprecedented retrogression being witnessed by the people at the grassroots. Waroh said Alia had failed to change the narratives as he promised, and the PDP was preparing to take over from him and provide the desired leadership to the people. He said there was total breach of security in the state as Fulani headsmen had taken over significant parts of the state where people were killed on a regular basis without reasonable response from Governor Alia. Waroh said Sankera parts of the state was effectively under headsman occupation, with many residents displaced. He lamented the recent wanton Fulani killings in Otupo, where a mass burial was conducted for the victims over the weekend. Waroh, however, said the opposition would cooperate with Governor Alia to steer the ship of the state for its remaining 2 years before voting him out of office in 2027. Well, we have PDP here, Comrade Kingsley. We have PDP here and other parties, accusing Governor Hyacinth Alia of not keeping to his promises. He promised them security, but now what they are saying is they are witnessing the reverse. They're not seeing security. What they are observing or what they are seeing is insecurity, and that has to do with the Fulani herdsmen raiding farmlands and other parts of the state, Otupo to be precise as well. Let me get your take on this.
Well, we all know in this country that Fulani herdsmen's activities as regards to killing and destroying people's farm with their, cattle and all of those animals is not restricted to this Benue State we are actually talking about. Recently, there was one that happened in the east, and again, you can't say the governor is not really doing anything. He just came on board. For goodness sake, Nigerian politics is not the politics that once you just assume office, you have all of the comfort to do everything you want to do. You have to understand that people actually fought that you shouldn't be there. So they don't also sleep. They continue fighting just to make sure that you don't really get your balance and get things done. So if you say Fulani headsmen killing, is something the governor said he was going to tackle and all of those things, for goodness sake, give him a little time. This is barely 2 years if we are counting, and we are counting very well. Just give him a little time. As far as I'm concerned, the killing in Nigeria now, by these Fulani headsmen can be compared to what we saw, in the past administration, and that's what I want to give kudos to our president. People may not like it the way I'm saying it, but I'm saying reality, what I really know, and how we hear these things every day. If you look at the mass burial that was conducted during the past administration, you can't compare it to this administration. So President Tinubu has done a better job. Yes, he has not finalized, or rather he has not, I can't say he has done perfectly well, but at least he has tried. So
well, that's for President,
yes,
for Governor Hyacinth Alia.
Yes. The reason I say so is that, they work in synergy. The security of every state is tied to the police. And so when you look at the police, they are controlled by the federal, and that's the presidency we are talking about now. So whether the Governor Hyacinth is going to tackle insecurity in his state or not, it still has to fall back to the federal, and it's the support the federal gives to him that helps him to get all of these things done. So what I'm saying is, if you look at it generally, his states is not just the state you should be looking at. So they shouldn't be crying foul these two LA. That's what I'm talking about. We should give the governors kudos. Though I'm not there in their state in any case, but when we look at these events roll out, we look at it and judge it from the reality and not just mindset or what you will be guessing through.
All right. But when you say that the governor should be given some certain amount of time, I'm trying to wonder how long will this time be like, because it's 2 years. I mean, I mean, there should be some sort of landmark in terms of security as well as keeping his promises, at least if not to the fullest, at least to some point, just to prove that, okay, he's actually doing well, and then to give the people hope that, yeah, if we give him some time, definitely we'll see more improvements as regards these. So when you talk about giving him time, I'm trying to wonder how long do you think should be given to the governor?
Okay. Do you think we really have a time frame for all of these things? Because we had a case where U.S. tried to maintain peace, according to them, that Saddam Hussein was the trouble of Iraq. But have you gotten an absolute peace in Iraq? And then the same thing we have Israel with Hamas and this Iran. Up till now, we've not had an absolute peace, and I bet you, if Israel decides to leave tomorrow, you still would not have the absolute peace in that place. So, if you talk about peace on this earth and Nigeria, let's narrow it to Nigeria now. I'm not very certain that you have a time frame for that. It's just a progressive thing. Governor Hyacinth may not be able to finish this wholesome burden, but like you said, these are political promises made. I want to beckon on him to also see as much as he can do to, contain the excesses of this headsmen, so that the people will count on his promises and say, yes, indeed, we voted the right person.
Okay, so what specific actions should Governor Alia, take to address the security issues in Benue State? Can you think of any suggestion?
Yeah, you have to look at the terrain of Benue State. Look at the terrain itself, and then you look at the people in that area. Their mindset matters too. If they are willing to come together and not looking at politics in between, I bet you there will be some sort of peace, far more than what they have now. So he should see how he will harness the people, whether agreeing with him or not agreeing with him. He should harness them, bring them together, and discuss this security thing. Of course, it's not just Governor Alia's or Hyacinth's job issue and all of those. Even the police will tell you security is every man's business. Yeah, so you should just call them together. Everybody should share idea, and then you should see how he will put that to make sure that these things work out.
Well, also, I'm also looking at what could be the possible, political repercussions for Alia. Probably if for some reasons he failed to meet up with the promises he made to the people as regards security.
It's simple. It's simple. It's just telling the people not to return him back. Because if you look at that Benue area, it's prone to this kind of thing we are talking about. So if you do not want to do anything about it, or you're not doing much about it, you're just telling them not to return you back. So it's a simple thing.
Okay, so do you also think that the PDP can capitalize on these security failures in the upcoming elections? Well, if you think so, how so?
Well, you must understand that in politics, you don't let, the cat out of the bag. That's one. You don't also create a loophole. Because the water that may be leaking out may just be more than the hole you have created. So PDP may just not, if they would want to, they will fully capitalize on it, and then they will go all out against this young man. Of course, in campaign, what the opponent uses most is the failure of the other God, the existing government, the incumbent government, to say, is their own weaknesses that they use as their own political campaign. And it works out very many times for them. Because, their weaknesses is what the people are tired of, is what they don't want to continue with. And so when you hear somebody telling you, I want to take you out of this bondage, I want to take you out of this difficulty, then whether they love you in the first instance or not, they want to say, okay, let's try him. He has come with a good and, of course, something better for us. Let's follow him. So the party PDP can capitalize on it and then do the mass destruction. I call it mass destruction because if they're able to win the heart of the people, in all of this that is playing out now, I must tell you, the PDP may capitalize on it.
Okay, well, before we go on a short break, just this one question. You rightly mentioned the presidency's role as regards the security and what they are doing so far. So basically, to Benue State, what role can the federal government, play in resolving this Benue security crisis?
Okay, I will always tell you, if they don't play politics, it's going to be outrightly better off for them. The presidency can come in, okay, get to sit with the governor of the state, but that's after the governor must have sat with people and they know what they are really looking at for internally before he can pass this message across to the presidency. Because if the president wants to reach out to the state, I think the first person to reach out to is going to be the governor of that state. So if they are working in synergy, I mean the people of Benue State, and the governor passes this message across to the presidency, I am sure that definitely they will have a way of, overcoming all of these challenges, because the federal government is always in charge of every security situation in every part of this country as it stands now.
Well, hopefully